there is another clip that I want to show you. Thanks to Maze Moore on X, one of my favorite accounts, that Maze finds all those clips lost in time, and this is how we can get a better sense of what kind of people we are dealing with. This is the kind of people that we are dealing with. In June 2020, rioters in D.C. had just set fire to her church, a church she oversees, and Bishop Marianne Bude goes on PBS to blame Trump for inciting the violence. She's a woke lunatic who belongs on The View, not in a church. And in fact, she's gonna be featured on The View. I think like right now she should be, as we are speaking, she should be as a special guest on The View. I will try to cut back on analyzing clips from The View, because I think that is a bad idea to give them more exposure. But if there are good clips from her and that in that shithole of a program, maybe I will feature. But we have this, and let's try to make it from her words and her demeanor and her expression, the kind of person that we are talking about. The kind of person that we were talking about. By the way, who decided that service to be in that church, if they knew that this was going to happen?
We are upset about the fire as well, but that is not our primary focus. Our primary focus is the fundamental reasons behind the protests in our country right now. There is a deep desire for the fundamental issues at stake, brought to light by the murderous death of George Floyd.
Well, I'm not pleased. Yeah, you know where she's coming from. This is where she's coming from. This is like a woke zealot. A woke zealot. This is my question, Saltzila. This is my question. Who set that service up? That was a setup. Who set that up? I'm not gonna complain. That is entertaining. At the end of the day, it's entertaining, and it teaches us how to spot people, how people manipulate, and how to spot those tactics. That is important. But that is a good question. Who set that up? Who set that service up?
Others that we've witnessed in this long string of violence against Black and brown people, that needs to be addressed in a systemic.
Wait a second. And what happens with the white and Asian people? And I don't know, that there must be aliens there as well. The green people. What about the green people? The violence against aliens. Not about illegal aliens. No, actual aliens, like tiny green Martians and all the stuff. Where do you leave the whites and Asians? Why only Black and browns and everybody in between? That because it's like a spectrum, right? How do you define when somebody is brown or Black? You have some kind of Pantone chart for that at your church?
Fundamental way in the from every police department in the country and the vigilante.
You see that she's got those delighted, it's a bit of maybe Jupian delight. Like she likes to talk about this. She likes to feel like, I'm talking about, how these people are in danger, and how I'm talking in their behalf. Oh, yeah.
Actions that are taken. The gospel of Jesus and the teachings of the scripture are antithetical to the messages that he is communicating and the way he's responding to people in this.
I remember that scene from Airplane when the protagonist is talking to this guy. The guy begins to, pour gasoline over himself.
In this moment. And that there is no spiritual mantle of authority for the actions that he had just moments before said that he would take.
It's woke, it's a zealot, it's a lunatic, and also speaks in word salads. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for?
You told the Washington Post yesterday, and I'm quoting, everything this president has said and done is to inflame violence. We need moral leadership, and he's done everything to divide us. Is there any way to begin to heal this breach?
Now we understand Melania's face at the service, right? Melania knew where this was going. Melania knew. She knew.
That you're describing.
Well, we see examples of people attempting that across the country. The police officials and officers who are moving into the crowds to speak to them, the people who are acknowledging pain and seeking to make fundamental change for the good of the nation, and in particular for the safety and dignity of Black and brown people in this country. So yes, there are any number of steps that any one of us can make, including the president, to heal the breach.
Yeah, make it about Trump. Make it about Trump.
But it isn't by inflaming emotions. It's trying to bring them down and trying to offer a word of unity rather than division.
I'm gonna tell you this is there you have your mugshot. You have your mugshot of of the lady in question. And good comment, Lemon Trifle. Good comment. I can't see any compassion in her, only self-satisfaction and smugness. Yeah, it's like these are the kind of people that they try to impose their views in you, and they're very good at that. They're very good at that job. And what we should do is to spot not only their body language patterns, but also their speech patterns. What do they say? How do they express about certain matters? Do they express in a straightforward manner, in simple words? Do they try to make themselves understood? Or do they speak in word salads to look, more knowledgeable, or have this, I don't know, there's a word for that. You are in this metaphorical pulpit, being sanctimonious about your ideas, your holier than thou attitude. So I'm really fed up of that kind of people. And we're not talking about religious people, only religious people. Like, somebody can be an atheist and also be a great manipulator with the same tactics and with the same attitude. And once you start to spot the patterns, you can, all right, I know where this is coming from. The good thing is that once you start to spot the patterns, it becomes easier to issue counter arguments or counteract them. How do you counteract them? Well, asking questions. Okay, well, then let me, why only, as I say, why only blacks and browns? Why only blacks and browns? What about whites? What about Asians? Oh, Asians as well. Oh, who is committing the violence against Asians statistically? Oh no, there's that is the kind of things that we have to do. Ask questions, but before we ask the questions, we need to listen and be able to spot manipulation when we see. And this is the kind of manipulation that you need to learn how to spot. I would love to know, what do you think about this in the comments? And now let's highlight the greatest live chat in the history of humankind.